I have seen landlords lose $5, $10, $15, or even $20,000 or more. It's poor decision making before the tenant ever moves in. In fact, if you remember nothing else from this video, remember this. The cheapest bad tenant is the one you never place. And today, I'm going to break down the 5 biggest mistakes I see landlords make that cost them thousands of dollars every single year. If I asked 100 landlords in Chicagoland why they think landlords lose money, I'd probably hear things like property taxes, repairs, bad tenants, interest rates. And while all of those things can absolutely affect your bottom line, they're actually and usually not the real reasons. I'm Gabi Witas, owner of Nex-Gen Real Estate and Property Management, helping landlords in Chicagoland navigate their rental scene. Reason number 1. Poor tenant screening. This is the big one because they skipped steps during screening. The tenants seemed nice, they had a good story, they promised they'd be great, and the landlord let emotions override process. The problem is that nice people can still be bad tenants. A friendly applicant can still pay late, damage the property, violate the lease, create neighbor complaints. That's why professional screening isn't about feelings, it's about verification. Income verification, credit review, reference checks, consistency. And that is exactly why I created my free tenant placement checklist. It's the exact formula I use when screening applicants, and it's designed to help landlords avoid expensive mistakes before the lease is signed. You can download it in the link below. Because once a bad tenant gets possession, your options become much more limited and much more expensive. So let's go back to reason number 2, not understanding how tenant-friendly Illinois really is. Now let's talk about something that surprises many landlords, especially new landlords. Illinois is not a landlord-friendly state, and Chicagoland can be even more challenging. Many owners assume that because they own the property, they control the situation. That's not how it works. Tenant protections are extensive. They are federal laws, Illinois laws, county regulations, city ordinances, and they all matter. I've had owners tell me if they don't pay, I'll just tell them to leave. No, that's not how Illinois works. You must follow the legal process. You must provide proper notice. You must comply with the fair housing laws. You must understand local regulations. And if you don't, you can create a bigger problem for yourself than the original issue. The landlords who lose the most money are often the ones who underestimate the legal environment they're operating in. Knowledge isn't optional, it's part of the job. Number 3 is waiting too long to act. This one I see a lot, and it usually comes from a good place. A tenant misses rent. The landlord thinks they've always paid before, or they just need a little more time. So they wait, then they wait some more, and then another month passes. Now instead of being 1 month behind, the tenant is 2 or 3 months behind. The landlord is stressed, the balance keeps growing, and the chance of recovery keeps shrinking. I completely understand wanting to be compassionate. Life happens. People go through difficult situations. But as a landlord, you also have a business to protect. The longer you delay action, the larger the financial hole often becomes. One of my favorite sayings is, hope is not a collection strategy. You can be compassionate while still following proper procedures. Those two things are not mutually exclusive. Reason number 4, not understanding the judicial eviction process. This ties directly into the previous point. Illinois uses a judicial eviction process. That means everything goes through the court system. And courts move at court speed. Not landlord speed, not tenant speed. Court speed. Many landlords think, I'll file paperwork and have possession back next week. That's usually not the reality. The process requires proper notices, proper service, proper filings, court appearances, compliance with procedures, and that's the part many people don't realize. Even if you're right, you can still lose time and money if you don't follow the process correctly. I've seen landlords make small procedural mistakes that force them to restart a portion of the process. That means more delays, more lost rent, more frustration. The judicial process isn't necessarily difficult. It is procedural, and legality matters a lot. You don't get extra points for being right if the paperwork is wrong. The court cares about procedure, and that's why understanding the process before you need it is so important. Reason number 5, creating landlording like rent collection instead of risk management. This might be the most important mindset shift of all. Many landlords think, my job is to collect rent. No, your job is to manage risk. Rent collection is simply one result of managing risk effectively. Think about where most losses come from. Not the property itself, but mistakes, fair housing violations, security deposit issues, poor documentation, bad screening, improper notices, compliance failure. Those are risk management problems. The best landlords I know aren't necessarily the most aggressive. They're not necessarily the cheapest. They're not necessarily the biggest. They're the most consistent. They have systems, they have processes, they document everything. And they don't make emotional decisions. Every successful landlord eventually learns the same lesson. The money isn't made when you collect rent. The money is protected when you avoid mistakes. At the end of the day, most Chicagoland landlords don't lose money because they bought the wrong property. They lose money because they underestimated tenant screening, Illinois law, eviction timelines, compliance requirements, and risk management. The good news is that all of these can be improved. And once you improve them, your entire investment performs better. Less stress, better tenants, fewer surprises, more profits for you. If you found this video helpful, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss future landlord tips, Illinois law updates, screening strategies, and property management insight. And if you're in Chicagoland area and looking for help with tenant placement or full service property management, my team and I would love to help. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. And as always, where's your future?